How can you get started on a motorbike? Hello everyone, Matt here, and today I wanted to talk about how you can get into motorbiking. If you ever wanted to ride a bike, thought they looked cool, and just wanted to experience what it's like to be on two wheels, maybe you've been on the back of a bike, so I thought I'll kind of run through how it works in the UK, and if you ever wanted to get on a motorbike, what the process is. I haven't planned what I'm going to say for this. There's going to be a bit of a ramble, so I'm just going to go off the top of my head, so let me know if you prefer that type of content. Right, so the first thing you need to do is really figure out if you enjoy riding a motorbike. Watching someone ride a motorbike and seeing a motorbike ride past and actually riding a motorbike are two different things. There are some things that you just won't feel unless you're actually riding, like the wind in your chest and your head when you're going 70 and you feel unbalanced. Maybe the pain in your wrist or your back or your legs. Maybe just the riding position itself. Maybe how bumpy it is. Also, I've got to just say, one of the worst things with a motorbike you can ever do is stand behind a bin truck. God, it smells so bad. It's like you're inside the bin. Anyways, the first thing you need to do is pass your CBT, compulsory basic training. It's not a test, can't fail it, it's training. And what you do is you hop on a 125cc motorbike and you start to understand how it works. The riding position, the controls, the gears, the weight, everything else like that. And the CBT is normally between 100 to 200 pounds depending where you do it and if you have someone doing it with you, as you get discounts sometimes. And it takes about half a day to get it done, a couple of hours, which is mad because at 17 with no riding experience or car experience, you can just pass your CBT and hop on the road with an L plate on a 125cc motorbike. That's crazy, but also very freeing. And just bear in mind you have to be at least 17 to get your CBT done. There are a lot of rules around different licenses of A1 and A2, and there's a lot of content out there explaining that, so I'm not going to get too much into it. But essentially, if you wanted to take the next step from your CBT and you're over 25 years old, you can just do your full test. And if you go down that route, then I would first suggest you spend a year or at least 6 months on the 125cc motorbike, as that will really teach you the basics of how to ride properly. And the thing is, once you've passed your CBT and you're on a 125cc machine, like, it's still really fun. Yeah, you're going to get used to the power quite quickly, especially if you've driven a car before, but just being on a bike is so much fun that it doesn't really matter how fast you're going. And the full test is consist of a theory, mod 1 and mod 2. So even if you have your car license and you've passed your theory on the car, you still have to do a theory again for your motorbike. There are some motorbike specific questions on the motorcycle theory, but I still think it's a little bit pointless doing it twice once you already have a car license. But at the same time, it should be quite easy. So once you pass your motorcycle theory, you then should book some lessons with your local motorcycle school, and then they can teach you and get you up to scratch on how to ride properly on a bigger bike, on a 650 or 600. And then comes the mod 1 and mod 2 tests. So mod 1 is on a course, so it's more slow speed maneuvers, going around cone, stop and starting, emergency stops, emergency swerve, U-turns and that sort of stuff. That's usually the harder one and the one that people struggle more with. And if you fail, you are going to have to pay for it again, which is a bit of a bummer. So just don't fail. Oh, my high beams were on, soz. And the mod 2 test is a test on the road where an instructor is behind you and they're watching if you can do all your maneuvers and ride safely on a public road, whereas mod 1 is on a closed off area. And the key thing to remember is that you have to pass your mod 1 to do your mod 2. So don't book your mod 2 too early, because if you fail your mod 1, you're going to have to reschedule both. So as I said, once you've passed your mod 1, then you can book your mod 2, and then once you've passed your mod 2, you are now a motorcycle rider and you hold the full A license, meaning that you can ride whatever CC bike you want, whatever style. You know, you can jump on a Yamaha R3, a little 300 just to brush up on your skills, or if you want, you can even buy a turbo Hayabusa, which I wouldn't suggest. I wouldn't suggest hopping on a S1000RR, a Fireblade or an R1 as your first bike, but it's your choice. And the great thing is, you have the choice to do so. And that first ride after you've passed is so magical. You just hop on the bike and you're filled with confidence and you just feel great. But just because you passed your full test doesn't mean you can go out and be an idiot. You still have to really be careful. Check your mirrors everywhere you go. Keep up the right speed. Wear all the gear. And just be mindful of other road users. And the most important thing is stay at your own pace. Don't try to keep up with experienced riders and go on long trips and twisties first week after you've passed, because that's only going to end in two ways. You're either going to be disappointed with your own pace and frustrated that you can't keep up, or you're going to have a crash because you're trying to push yourself too much. And the great thing about doing the test, you don't need your own bike. You can use all the gear and the motorbikes that the training school provides, so you don't even need to invest in loads of gear early on. I mean, I bought my motorcycle helmet, had my jacket as I was doing my training because I knew I wanted to get a motorbike. It wasn't like a maybe, it was a when. Whoa. I mean, I passed my mod 1 and mod 2 first time, which I was really chuffed with, because it means I saved a lot of time and a lot of money. But when I hear most people fail, it's because of silly little things, that someone pulled up on them and they lost balance, or they put their two legs down. It's little things like that, so don't stress about it. Also, a massive advantage for me that I had was that the driving instructor was giving me instructions of where to go, and we were literally going down the same road that I would take the 125 or my car down. So I knew all the roads, I knew all the speeds, and that just makes you a little bit more comfortable because you know all the speed limits. Once you get back to the test centre and get your certificates, you're all done. You got your full license and you get whatever bike you want now. The whole process can be expensive and take a few weeks, but once you get it done, it feels great. When I did my test, it cost me about £1,000 all in, and that's including a new CBT, a theory, mod 1, mod 2, lessons, bike hire, insurance, all that good stuff. You're never too old to learn something new, so go do it.